Hello everyone, my name is SeaTactics for the win, otherwise known as Ben, and today, here we are doing a little bit of an impromptu first impressions. I originally planned for my snafu first impressions to come out on this day, but sadly, I've gotten the word that, well, the people at Feel and the people that are behind snafu are striking down channels that do videos on it, so for now I'm going to play it safe, but I actually already planned to do a video on Uzaki-Chan, so today here, I thought I would do something a little bit different, do a little bit of an unscripted, as they come, flowing thoughts on Uzaki-Chan and what I personally think about it. Now, I've heard about this anime being well received by, not being well received by mainstream media. I thought that was pretty interesting because we have pretty big anime out there like ReZero and Snafu coming out this season, and there's nothing on that, but apparently there is of Uzaki-Chan, and apparently people don't like it, and well, I gotta say, I don't blame them, because Uzaki-Chan so far does not seem like the kind of show that you would watch because it's good. This seems like the kind of show that you would watch because it's a slice of life, kinda has a little bit of romance, kinda has a little bit of fan service, but mostly you'd watch it because it has a slice of life where nothing's happening for a lot of it. I actually would probably compare this more to something like Why the Hell Are You Here, Teacher? Or Ao-chan Can't Study. Probably more so Ao-chan Can't Study. Just something of like a really chill slice of life. And the reason I make the Why the Hell Are You Here, Teacher comparison is mostly because there seems to be quite a bit of fan service in this show, mostly with our main character, Uzaki. And Uzaki is quite a fascinating character in many ways. She doesn't have much of a character. She's kind of snippy, little snarky, little sassy. She has a fang, so I mean that's pretty cool. And her shirt says Sugoi Dekai, and I think by this point, I think we all know what Sugoi Dekai means. It's actually a pretty iconic imagery, in my opinion, for this character. And I'm not saying this just because I'm a red-blooded male who likes cute anime girls, but I'm saying this because she actually really does have a decently thought-out design. In the sense that, does she stick out? Yes. Is she immediately eye-catching? Yes. And does she serve her purpose well in the story in terms of her character design? The answer is a resounding yes. I think so far, based off this first episode, she's the most visually appealing of them all. But that's not saying much because the art in Uzaki-Chan is okay. It looks like pretty generic. I mean, honestly, it looks really generic. The only non-generic looking character or anything in this whole episode is Uzaki. So with that, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing for a series like this? I can't really answer that. But I do think that there have been plenty of slice of life like this where the art is not good and it's not been the end of the world. In my opinion, I think it doesn't. I think it looks generic, but I don't think it looks as bad as a lot of those other generic looking ones. Of course, we'll have to see as the episodes go along, but it seems like they, at least in terms of the coloring and things like that, it looks solid. It does. It looks a little gray. It looks a little I don't know, a little bland without color, but it seems like this was definitely created on a little bit more of a budget than usual anime are created on, and in that sense, they kind of did really well. But I think a lot of the budget probably went to animating her breasts and her facial expressions. And I mean, when I say animating her breasts, they spend a lot of time on those things, on those memories, because there's at one point they go to this store and they sit in these chairs and it's like a massaging chair, and she's complaining about, oh, it's really the shoulders where it hits me. I'm like, yeah, sure it does. I'm sure it does. Sure it does, lady. You probably definitely deserve this massage. And lo and behold, those things are going everywhere, man. They are going everywhere. And the main guy is kind of like, oh man, I gotta get out of here. And understandably so. Another pointy episode, they go, Uzaki and main guy, Shinichiro, I think is his name. I'm actually not too sure on that. Either way, he's like in his 20s. By the way, the college setting, which is pretty cool in my opinion, these are actually adults. Which makes me feel decent when I watch this, at the very least. And they go to this VR thing, this VR demo, and he's like she was playing like a horror game, and she's like freaking out. She's really enjoying it. And this is actually a pretty cute moment in like a vacuum. If we take out the whole thing where it's like an ecchi fan service anime, and the fan service is kind of light, I think. But if you take it out of context, I mean, this is a pretty cute date. This is a pretty cute date between two people that get along pretty well. And I think that's a little bit of an edge and a silver lining the show has, where underneath all of like the weird anime stuff that's happening, these are actually pretty cute and endearing moments, I think. But he puts the VR goggles on, and he doesn't want to play the horror game, of course. So they go to the fish, and he's grabbing around, and of course the cliche, the trope, he grabs Uzaki's breast, and she's just like dumbfounded, like okay. And then the demonstrator is like, well, this is happening. And I guess they don't tell him. But thankfully, the scene doesn't end with him, her going, but baka, and like slapping him or hitting him or anything. She doesn't seem to mind at all, which is pretty fine. Well, there's also the other cliche that happens in this moment where she hits MC Guy with the video game controller. And I didn't like that. I didn't like the boob grabbing. I didn't like, the controller smashing thing. I just felt that didn't really need to be in here. Then they go to a batting ring where they hit bats, or they hit balls with bats. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. They basically go to play baseball, and they're just taking turns, and he's like kind of decent at it. He can't really hit a lot of them, but he can hit some of them or something like that. And she goes in, and she's like taking after his example, and she like puts her hips into it, she puts her back into it, and she hurts her back. And I actually thought that was funny. I thought that was pretty funny. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm 25 and like I threw up my back the other day. So I was literally just walking, guys. I was walking in the park, and my back started to hurt, and I bent over because I was like, oh, I'm going to bend over and stretch. It's going to be great. It's going to feel awesome. And I did that, and I was like, that's a mistake. I had to I had to literally lean back the other direction. I had to lean backwards to like fix myself. It wasn't fun. And Uzaki did the same thing. And she's, like 3 or 4 years younger than me. And she's an anime girl. She has back problems. This anime should actually be called Uzaki-Chan. This shouldn't be called Uzaki-Chan Wants to Hang Out. It should be called Uzaki-Chan Has Back Problems. That's what it should be called. Because, I mean, she's got a lot of back problems. She's got shoulder problems. She's got lower back problems now, and she put her hips into it. I wonder if that will continue. Or Uzaki just has a really bad back because of, well, we know why she has a bad back. Other than that, honestly, I think the first episode is fine. I don't think it's bad. I legitimately do not think from this first episode this is a bad anime. And the reason I say that is because it was paced fine, and the writing was mediocre, kind of generic, but it was better than most. And I know that's not saying much, saying, oh, well, Uzaki is good because it's better than most. And that's not like, God, all these notifications going off. But that's not something you want to say about an anime in a first impressions, right? But I think, honestly, genuinely, based off first impressions, I think Uzaki-Chan is going to be an anime that I watch more of and probably am going to enjoy for most of the time I'm watching it. I don't know what they do that would offend me so much. Like, they would have to literally have MC Guy become pervy, grabs boobs all the time for me to probably drop this show. But I think this is kind of like my line. I think this is my line of the kind of ecchi slice of life stuff I enjoy. And I know as well, there's going to be commenters that are like, SeaTactics, you like rail on this stuff like all the time. This is kind of hypocritical for you to like this. And I always say this every year I cover a show like this. This happens every year, by the way, where I watch a show like this. I say, I have one of these per year that I watch. And the one that I pick, I will probably still end up dropping. I may not even end up enjoying that much outside of the novelty of the first episode. But I have my one a year of these slice of life ecchi shows. And the reason for that is really because it's something different. It's something to break up the monotony from time to time, and it's really lighthearted, and especially now in these times, I think Uzaki-Chan fits a role that's pretty important, and that's just being a pretty lighthearted, slice-of-life, ecchi, romance, rom-com thing. And in a season with shows like The God of High School, Re:Zero, and Snafu, I think this show really does stand out, and I think it does offer something, and I think that's only because this isn't a normal season. If this was a normal season, I'm not probably watching this show past episode 1, but I think I'm going to keep watching the show because it's enjoyable, it's fun, it's lighthearted, and I have patience for one of these a year. And I think it's important that I don't watch the same things all the time, because I will literally go insane. So yeah, I do rail on these shows quite a bit, and rightfully so. A lot of them are bad, and I just think that it's okay to watch these every now and again, and it's okay to, you know, I'll admit, it is a little hypocritical for me to watch these shows, but it's fine at the end of the day because I'm enjoying it, and I genuinely am enjoying it. And I think that's what's most important, is that I'm finding something that, of something in this genre that I'm enjoying, right? That means, that says to me that if I can find one of these a year that I'm enjoying on some level, that the genre is worth continuing, and it's probably for many people something they really enjoy. Overall, Uzaki-Chan Wants to Hang Out episode 1, my first impressions are essentially that it's good. It's good. Not the greatest thing ever. It has glaring flaws, lots of cliches and tropes. No, I don't want to say a lot, but it has noticeable cliche and tropes. But I think I'll continue enjoying it for the time being, and I think I'll continue watching it. So with that being said, I really want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. I would have put in comments section from the community tab, but once again, this is an impromptu video. I may do that in a live stream or something like that. Put down in the comments below if you guys just want to see me do a live stream talking about stuff. Maybe we'll do it on the Re:Zero episode 2, season 2 live stream, the watch along that we'll be doing Wednesday morning. Either way, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Put down in the comments below what you think about Uzaki-Chan. Subscribe and ring the bell to never miss a community tab post or any video. And as well, know that I have a Teespring where you can buy some t-shirts there. It helps support me. And as well, I have a YouTube membership program where 99 cents gets you early access to tons of videos. And as well, I have a Patreon page where on the $1 tier and above, you get access to everything. Go over there to Patreon, see what you get. There's a lot of stuff. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.